Hey guys, it's Ani here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be making a simple and fun house alarm made out of electronic pieces they can find around the house. Let's go over what we need for this project. First, we need a binder clip. Here I use this kind of binder clip they can find at any hardware store, but you can also use the normal metal binder clips. Next up, we have a DC motor. These are pretty common and you can find them for really cheap on Amazon. After this, we're going to need a battery pack. Here I used a 2 AA battery pack that also has a switch. So you'll need 2 AA batteries as well. Afterwards, a pair of wire strippers that can be used to strip the wires that we need in this project. Also, I used some nuts and bolts. We can use this in the project to connect our wires together. Next up, I used some zip ties to hold things together, and it's really helpful during the project. Also, you'll need some popsicle sticks. This will be used as an insulator in our alarm bell. Also, I used a drill to put some components together, and I used it to put it on a wooden board, just like this one. Now, we also need a small metal piece like this one. I found this off of a metal yo-yo. We're going to be using this as our alarm bell. Finally, we need our trusty little hot glue gun so that we can bind things together. Okay, let's start building. First thing, we need a screw and our metal alarm bell. We're going to be drilling the screw into the alarm bell and then placing it onto the wooden board. Now we need to mount our DC motor. Our DC motor is going to be the thing that will spin and make the alarm bell ring. Here we need the motor to be a little bit higher than the alarm bell. So I'm going to be using a piece of styrofoam so that I can support my DC motor. We glue on our DC motor, we're going to need to add on the ringers. We're going to be using some bolts. So I used a zip tie and 2 bolts so that I could zip them together and put it onto the motor. Here, after I've zipped together my bolts, you can see they're nice and tight. And now we're going to be gluing it on to our motor. Now that we've glued on our bolts, it's time to mount our DC motor. After you've mounted the styrofoam block, you can put your DC motor as well. After the motor is mounted, we can test the alarm bell. Let's connect the battery and try it out. Now we're going to start with the binder clip. We're going to use it to make our alarm bell automatic. First thing, you want to strip your battery wire and one of your motor wires. After both of your wires are stripped, we can now hot glue on your battery pack, and also we can bolt your wires. Now you'll need 2 sets of nuts and bolts. We can use them to bolt our wires that we just stripped. By doing this, our wires will send and receive electricity through the screws because the screws are metal, so they're also conductors. Now that both our wires are bolted, we can now hot glue our screws to either side of the binder clip. Now that both of the nuts are connected together, we can actually turn on the switch and allow the motor to spin. When I open the binder clip, both of the metal pieces stop touching and instantly stop the circuit. Now it's time to add on our wooden popsicle stick. As you may know, wood is not a conductor, so it resists the flow of electricity, and so the electricity can't pass through. Now I am hot gluing a zip tie onto my popsicle stick. This allows us to pull out our popsicle stick with a zip tie and trigger the motor. Here I hot glued a second popsicle stick to the other end of the zip tie, so when this popsicle stick is pulled out, the other one gets pulled out of the circuit and starts the alarm. Now I've mounted my circuit to the door, and when I walk through, the circuit alarm goes off. Also, if you want to just turn off the alarm, you can just use this switch. Well, that's the end of the video, but if you want more, please like, share, and subscribe.